Well, good morning everyone. It is a Monday in the shop. Mondays are typically supposed to be my day off, but since I have a bit of a workload this week, that's out of the question. So I've sorted out some of my work to do this week, and let's take a look at it. Up top we have a new SG that needs a setup and a nut. Next guitar down is an Epiphone that needs a couple pots and some electronics work. The third guitar down is a Gibson acoustic that needs a pickup installed. Could be a K&K installation. Below that we have a Les Paul Studio that needs a fret dress, a nut, and a setup. Next case down in the brown case is a very nice Gibson 335, I believe historic. It's going to need a new nut, a fret dress, and a setup. And my typical tailpiece and bridge tweaking for those guitars. And finally, the last case we have there is a Strat. It needs to be set up and have the pickups replaced. Before I can actually get too far into those other fret jobs there, I actually have a Jackson here that I need to get off the neck jig. So I need to finish up the fret dress on it and get it set up so I can get it off of here so I can carry on. But let's see, we're looking at probably so far about 25 to 30 hours worth of work I'm looking at here. So it's going to make for a pretty difficult week. I'm sure my hand is going to enjoy all the fret work. So we'll catch up later. Well, here we go. Here's the Epiphone. I've actually got it all finished up. So it will be the first one off the bench this morning. We replaced a volume control for his neck pickup, cleaned his output jack, cleaned all the controls, also cleaned his toggle switch. It had one position on it that was not working, well, working intermittently. And here was his problem with his volume control. As you can see, the wiper assembly had broken apart because it's plastic and the shaft had come out of it. It was actually stuck to his knob. So this will explain why his neck volume knob did not work. So we get on, get this off the bench, and on to the next one. Who's next? Okay, we now have two guitars down. This little Gibson LG1 is now finished. We have put a K&K Pure Mini system in it with the volume control. So we have this. Something else I noticed while I was working on this guitar, things that you notice that you forget that you've done. Apparently several years ago I had made a replacement bridge for this guitar. These LG ones came with a molded plastic bridge that tended to self-destruct. So I had made him a rosewood bridge for it. So kind of nice to see a little surprise. Forgot all about it. Next. Actually, the next thing on the bench is going to be lunch. Today's menu, and for the rest of the week, is probably going to be what I refer to as lemon, pepper, chicken, and vegetables, and some pineapple in natural juice. I refer to the lemon pepper chicken because that sounds better than boiled chicken and vegetables with some pepper and lemon squeezed on it. So, gotta get back to work. Okay, so we have the third guitar of the day completed. This was a Telecaster, the friend and customer called this morning about. He wanted to get it in here early so he could get it back for the weekend. It needed to be set up. I had a pickup dropped out of it. I had some electronic cleaning to do. It just needed good going over. So Owen, being the friend that he is and just a generally nice guy, of course I'm always happy to try to help him out. So we got this taken care of for him, and it can be on its way out. So there's number 3. Let's go for number 4. Here we are with number 4. We've replaced the pickups in this Strat, completely set it up, did a few other little things, had a few nasty nicks we had to take out of the frets for being banged around. So it's all done. The clock says I've got about 9.5 hours in for today so far. I have to get a few things together for some orders tonight online, and I have to do a hardware run tonight to have some stuff to use tomorrow. So probably about another hour before I get home. So that's it for today. As they say, tomorrow's another day. Good morning. It's about 9:30 on a Tuesday morning. We have our 5th guitar for the week on the bench. Before I get too far into that, I want to tell you that it's about 18 degrees outside, a very chilly 18 degrees. Seems to be a bit windy with a bit of wind chill. We've got some snow, I want to say snurries, but we have some snow flurries out there. So this morning, first thing, I was greeted with having to pry my way into a frozen van, make my way across town to the shop, shovel off the shop walk, clean up outside, then mop the floor for the mess that I had made before I can start my day. So now we're at this point where we are ready to get started. We're going to do this SG. We have a full setup to do. I have to replace the nut on it, so it's going to get a nylon nut. There we have it. Number 5 is finished. We have our complete setup. We've tightened up everything on the guitar, and it has a new nylon nut. So, time for lunch. Well, here we are in the afternoon. It's about 2:30. I'm tag teaming 2 Gibsons right now. This studio is in for a setup. I've reset a few frets, and right now we're doing some regluing and some inlays. The ticking you may hear in the background is not a time bomb, it is a timer for the epoxy for the inlays. Over here on the neck jig we have a 335. So it's getting a fret dress. We'll get a new nut. So back to work. Well, here it is about 6:30. I have the fret dress done on this 335. I've roughed in the nut. But what we're going to talk about right now for a moment is, let's talk about righty. Righty I referred to as the hardest working thumb in the business. If you take a look at this little guy, he looks a little raw, doesn't he? Take a good close look at the thumbnail, how it's sanded off to one side. Lefty's just about the same. But righty's the one that had surgery a couple years ago for this. So how you doing, righty? Okay, well there we go. I guess we're going to go home and rest a little bit, and we'll be back to work tomorrow. So here we are. We have number 6 finished. The 335 is finished. I've got just a bit over 6 hours on this guitar. So let's look at why. He wanted a fret dress and set up, tailpiece stud and bridge bolt mod, possibly new nut, which he did need. So it had a nylon one on it, so he's getting another nylon one. He's got some foam under the pickups, and he has some loose tuner buttons to take care of. So we had to do a little bit more of a fret dress in this guitar. It had been dried out badly in the store he bought it from, so the fret ends were sticking out. They had to be trimmed first. Leveled frets, did that. He has a new nut and is all good to go. So let's move on to number 7. Well, here we are in the Wednesday afternoon. I've had a few distractions. This guitar came in just a little while ago. One of my local players that's got a pretty busy list of playing called earlier. It's got a problem with some frets buzzing. So we get up here and get looking. We've got some pretty well trashed frets on like his B string. So he needs to have 3 frets put in and get this guitar back to him before Friday so that he can have it for the weekend for his gigs. So we're going to have to jump into it here. Let me say, you can plan a week, but sometimes when you have friends, clients, and regular customers, sometimes you have to actually go out of your way a little bit to try to help them out. So I try to do that as much as I can. At least these guys are playing. Live gigs, as most of you know, are not that abundant these days. So we're going to try to get this guy taken care of. Well, here we are. We have our Martin finished up. We have cleaned the whole guitar up, done a few other little things. Here's his 3 new frets. Done a quick fret dress on the rest of the guitar. Tightened up his tuning machines. We got him all taken care of. So now that that's taken care of, we can move on. This is number 7, I believe. Like I say, you never really know what's going to happen. Like I say, we've had a few distractions, interruptions, so on going on. So, yep, squirrel. There's the phone. At this point, we have the Les Paul Studio finished. It is late morning Thursday. I had to tighten up all the controls. Whoever had installed the pickups in this guitar did not tighten up the nuts and stuff on the pots they were spinning around. They'd actually bent one of the shafts here that I had to straighten out. Always touchy because they're aluminum. They're just waiting to snap off on you. We successfully managed to do that. Recut the bridge saddle slots to the right radius to match the neck. Put some foam under the pickups to keep them from rocking around. Tightened up his toggle switch. Tightened up his tuning machines. Cleaned up his frets. Had to reseat a few of those. I got by without having to do any fret work on this guitar other than reseating a few frets and just clean it up. The inlay had to be re-glued, of course. I've recut the nut. Done a whole setup on the guitar. It's ready to go. So there is number 8 for the week. I have one more guitar I have to do. And here we have number 8. I actually had to do a new bridge saddle on this guitar. Humidity was really low on it. Had to reseat a few frets. Had to shimmy his nut. And, well, there's that squirrel again. Let's see who's on the phone. Okay, well, I'm off the phone again. Fortunately, that was just someone calling and check on me and telling me that it's late, I should go home and have a good weekend. So that was nice. We've got some work done this week. As of tomorrow, I won't be doing any work because Fridays and Saturdays are pick up and drop off days. So that'll be FaceTime with people. There might be a couple of quick things pop in I can do for somebody, but by and large we don't do anything on the weekends. So there you go. A week of guitars. So I'm going to check a few things here, pack up my toys and get home, and I will catch you next time. So I hope you've enjoyed this. It's just been like a week of what goes on here, a week with the guitar guy. No major fretwork, just a lot of just regular jobs. So till next time, be cool, take care, play nice, and we'll see you again.